What's good, everybody? In this video, I'm going to show you how to simplify and solve order of operation problems using the acronym PEMDAS. We hope this video was helpful for you. So, PEMDAS is just a set of rules we use to simplify order of operation problems. So, when we start off with the first letter parentheses, we need to understand that if there's more than one parentheses, like here, we start off with the inside operation and work out. So after I divide, I'm going to have 4 to the second power minus, and then I'm going to take care of 15 minus 7, which will give me 8, and then we're going to rewrite the rest of the problem. Now at this step, guys, we still have parentheses, but before we could take care of 8 plus 3 squared, we have to figure out what 3 squared is. So I take care of this exponent as well. We're going to keep these brackets, right, because they're letting us know, hey, we want you to add this and prioritize this first before we worry about doing 16 minus whatever this answer is. So at this step, we have 16 minus 8 plus 9, and when we simplify, we're going to get 17, and once we subtract, we'll get -1 as a final answer. Now, problem number 2 is a little bit different. So in problem number 2, we have one set of parentheses, and we have no exponents. So after I focus on this first step, I'm going to have 9 minus 5 divided by 5 times 2 plus 6. Now, in this step, a lot of students want to do multiplication first because in PEMDAS, they see that multiplication comes before division. But when we're talking about multiplication and division, guys, when both of those operations are in the problem, we solve it from left to right, meaning I'm going to do division first before the multiplication. So I have 9 minus 1 times 2 plus 6. Now at this step, I can worry about multiplication. So I have 9 minus 2 plus 6. And again, when we talk about that priority, now we're talking about addition and subtraction, right? And because there's no parentheses, the way we're going to solve this is we're going to do from left to right, meaning I'm going to subtract first to get 7. And then when I add 6 to this, my final answer would be 13. And now we're going to go on to the next few examples we have. Moving on to problem 3 now, guys. First thing we need to recognize is that our exponent is going to be a power of 3. Normally, they try to confuse us because we're used to the exponent of 2. So just be mindful. So after we subtract, we're going to get 2 to the third power because we started in parentheses. And then we're going to rewrite the rest of this problem. Divided by 4 minus 12 plus 5 times 2. Now in this step, guys, we want to take care of the exponent. So 2 to the third powers is 2 times 2 times 2. So now we have 8. I'm going to rewrite the rest of the problem. Divided by 4 minus 12 plus 5 times 2. Now at this step, guys, no parentheses, no exponents. So we're on to division and multiplication, and we're going to solve them from left to right when they're both present in the problem. So now we have 2 minus 12 plus 10. And at this step, guys, I want to show you what happens if we solve it wrong. So let's say we added first, right? Which is the wrong step. We would have 2 minus 22, and our final answer would be -20. And like I said, this is the wrong answer. When we have addition and subtraction in the same problem, we always solve it from left to right. So I'm going to subtract to get -10. And when I bring down the rest of the problem plus 10, my final answer should actually be 0. So this is why it's important that we make sure we follow the PEMDAS rules and the order to solve. Now, problem number 2, similar to the last problem, we have more than one parentheses. So what does that mean? That means when I go at this part here, I'm not going to worry about 7 squared. I'm going to first take care of 9 plus 5. So once we do that, we're going to have 7 squared minus 14. Right? And then we're going to rewrite the rest of the problem. So now we're still inside of parentheses, forgot my bracket. We do the exponent. So now we have 49 minus 14. And then we're going to, after we do that, we're going to minus the answer of 36 divided by 4. So at this step, guys, we subtract, and what we're going to get is, let's see, 5. This is going to be 35. Let's make sure that's right. 5, yep. 35 is our answer. All right. And then at this step, guys, once we rewrite the rest of the problem, what we need to know is that division is going to come first. So we'll have 35 minus 9. And then now the final answer, once we subtract, is going to be 26. But before we go, we have one more problem. And if you've enjoyed this video so far, smash the like button for us. Moving on to the last problem of today's video, guys. We're now dealing with this problem. And what I want to point out is the exponent being over the number 3 and not outside the parentheses. So that means we have to square 3, not do 5 plus 3, then square. So I just want to point that out. So once we start this off, right, everything's going to stay the same except for 5 plus 3. So we'll keep the parentheses. This will turn to 5 plus 9. And that will be the first step that we take. Now remember that we're still inside the parentheses. So once we add this, we're going to get 14. And we'll rewrite the rest of the problem. Now at this step, guys, I know we're inside parentheses and they're going to make it seem like, hey, we need to subtract. But remember, division comes first before subtraction. So at this step, we have 2 on the outside and we're going to have 18 minus 14 divided by 7, which is 2. Now at this step, we're going to have 2 times the answer of 18 minus 2, which is 16. And if anybody is wondering why we subtracted before multiplying, remember that the parentheses, aka brackets, same thing, they're telling us, hey, before we start working outside the parentheses and multiplying, we have to take care of what's inside. So our final answer for this problem will be positive 32. Really hope that you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you have, smash the like button for us, subscribe to the channel, and leave comments for future videos you guys would like to see on our channel. Or if you guys just had questions from today's video, thank you so much for watching Algebra 1 with Mr. Peters.